Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Happy Friday, Huskers fans. We're getting ready for a full weekend of Huskers athletics. And as a reminder, the Huskers Radio Network will be bringing you coverage of men's basketball's contest tomorrow against Northwestern. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. Tip-off is at noon. Then on Sunday, the Huskers women's basketball team is out east to take on the 17th-ranked Maryland Terrapins in Annapolis. Matt Coatney and Jeff Greesh will have pre-game coverage at 11:45 a.m. Central, followed by tip-off at noon. From current Huskers to one striving for the pros, Samori Toure turned some NFL heads last night as he stood out at the East-West Shrine game. He had 5 catches last night and also 2 touchdowns among those 5. Toure is one of several Huskers hoping to hear their names called in this spring's NFL draft. You'll hear more from Nebraska football in our second hour as Feldarius Payne and Ryan Schommer will join us to discuss the Huskers road race. In other Big Ten college football news, Jim Harbaugh is staying at Michigan after interviewing for both the Las Vegas Raiders and Minnesota Vikings previously vacant head coaching jobs. He told the Detroit Free Press late last night that he reassured Michigan AD Ward Manuel that from here on out, I'm working at the pleasure of the University of Michigan because that's in my heart where I want to be. We'll check on that one in about a year's time. After Sports Nightly tonight, you can catch Huskers wrestling as they take on third-ranked Michigan. That duel gets underway at 8 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. And we'll flip over to college basketball, where tonight no Big Ten men's or top 25 games are in action. But on the women's side in the Big Ten, there's one game currently going on as Northwestern is battling Purdue in West Lafayette. The Wildcats are up at half, 35-22. In the top 25 in women's basketball tonight, number 13 Texas is set for a cross-state battle against number 9 Baylor. That one's at 7 p.m. Central. Number 19 Oregon will square off against number 8 Arizona at 9 p.m. Lastly, a reminder, the Winter Olympics are officially underway. It's in the early morning right now in Beijing, but the opening ceremonies have taken place and competition is set to get underway overnight, as you can always keep an eye on that online and check the results in the morning. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound Widener. Huskers, 5-point lead in the ball. Widener right down the middle of the lane, running one hand. Baker's good. Allison Widener. Stand up, Free Nebraska. She's got 7.
Tries to jam it. Shot is blocked by Trey McGowan's. Run down by Webster. What a defensive play. Here comes Trey. Webster. Trey McGowan's to Bryce McGowan's. The drive. Puts it up and in. Holy cow. The offensive play of the year for Nebraska.
Trapped in the deep right corner. Bounces
Great
back
pass.
up. Moriarty scores off the assist from Monica Stewart. And another timeout by Wisconsin.
Great activity by Kendall Moriarty.
And the return pass on the give and go. The skip pass deep right corner. 3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Markowski for 3. And Alexis Freakowski. Another Freakowski for Alexis.
That, she hardly looked.
Holy cow.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our Friday edition of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. So glad you're with us here tonight. We're going to get you launched into the weekend. Got some fun things headed your way tonight here on the program. Feldarius Payne and Ryan Schommer, a couple of Husker football players, are going to be here. Going to talk about their road race. This is the 10th year of the road race, which raises awareness for pediatric brain cancer. It's going to be in July. They got a little added incentives for this year's race. We'll tell you more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Fred Hoiberg met with the media today and previewed tomorrow's game with Northwestern. We'll hear some clips from him. There is a new podcast kicking back with the Cooks, a new episode of that about ready to be released. We're going to play you a little snippet, a little preview of that with John Cook and his daughter Lauren Cook West. Some interesting comments in there. We'll have that in hour number 2. And as always, phone lines open for you and available at 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Husker women last night, Jessica, knocked off the Penn State Nittany Lions. 4 straight wins now. They've now vaulted all the way up to a tie for 6th in the standings. It was a couple of freshmen that really kind of dug them out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, once again, Allison Widener and Alexis Markowski, I mean, those two have come up big. These moments have not been too big for them, and the way they're kind of embracing their role to be called upon in those big moments. But, I thought even though Penn State was able to kind of get back in it, that was the best they looked out of these. Well, I mean, I guess probably against Rutgers, and then, which I know Rutgers plays really hard defensively, but they shared the ball. I mean, the first 16 field goals had 16 assists, were assisted, 16 times. So I thought they moved the ball well. It looked like they were a little bit in better rhythm last night, especially there in the beginning. I will say this, the last couple of games the last 3 games, when teams have thrown a press at them, they've struggled a little bit. So hopefully now that they've seen it 3 games in a row, they'll get more comfortable with that pressure, because it won't be the last time that they see a press after these last 3 games.
And so well scouted is this league. Everybody's seeing that. And they're going, okay, even if they don't really do it a lot, they're going to go, we got to show Nebraska some pressure, because they have had difficulty with that. It's now on the road, Sunday at Maryland, next Thursday at Ohio State, 2 ranked teams on the road. So it'll be a big week coming up for Amy Williams and the group.
Absolutely. And to get one of those on the road, and Michigan is a team, when they play them, that is probably going to be a little bit mad about how it went down when the Wolverines came down here to Lincoln. But Indiana, really good team. So, I think, and then, of course, Maryland. But, right. It is a daunting stretch of games here that's coming up. But, I think this team will get up for it. We saw how much they got up for Michigan, and the teams that they've played that have been really good. I think this was a tough stretch, but now they'll be able to breathe a little bit. They'll get an extra day in between the turnaround and be ready to go.
So Huskers at noon Sunday. We'll take on the Maryland Terrapins. We'll have it for you here on HRN. Then, as I mentioned, at Ohio State. Then that makeup game with Illinois next Saturday on the road. So the next 3 away from home before getting back home to take on a really good Indiana team who rallied late last night themselves. They had to have a fourth quarter rally to beat Minnesota to stay near the top of the standings in the Big Ten. Really big, and I know some people may be making their way over to the Devaney Center. Big wrestling duel tonight for Mark Manning and the Huskers, who had a really good 2-game stretch 2 weekends ago, and they went to Wisconsin and Northwestern and won both of those duels to kind of get back to where we all thought this team was. Now this weekend's unbelievable. It's Michigan tonight. They're in the top 5. Then it's at number 1 Penn State on Sunday. Whoa, what a challenging weekend for the Huskers. And so hopefully there's a good crowd out there tonight to root them on against Michigan.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, because I think this, as you talked about, and as we've talked a lot with Coach Manning about, just the expectations for this team, how disappointed they were with how things kind of ended a year ago. And so they had a little bit of a pause with the COVID, and then they had some injuries that they were battling. And so hopefully guys are getting back healthy, and they can carry some momentum off of what they did, a couple weekends ago to get back to it tonight. But a huge opportunity. I can't wait. I think it'll be a good matchup out there tonight.
Should be. It's a BTN doubleheader of wrestling. We got on right now. They've got Penn State and Ohio State. Huge crowd at Penn State for this one tonight. So that the Huskers and Michigan will follow that. So
what weight do you think they start at?
I don't know. It's a good
it's
question.
It's kind of been with the last couple.
I think these guys started at the lowest class tonight, the Penn State duel. I don't know what
the
will
last
happen.
because at Minnesota they started
145. Did they?
Yeah, it's just the last couple they've started at different weights. So I didn't know if there is maybe a strategy going on tonight we should be looking out for.
So if you're looking for something to do tonight, head out to the Devaney Center. Should be some great entertainment. Huskers will have their hands full. It will be an interesting battle.
I feel like that's a sport, too, that watching on TV doesn't do it justice either.
I agree.
When you go and you watch it, and it's, it is exciting, and it is intense, and it moves a lot faster, I feel like, than it seems when you're watching it on TV. I like to watch it on TV, but I feel like don't get a full grasp of how exciting that sport is just watching it on TV. You got to be in an arena.
Agreed. So Huskers tonight, 8 o'clock. Again, still plenty of time for you to zip out there and watch that tonight. Last night I was asking you guys, I said, the Huskers weren't able to practice at PBA tonight, and Northwestern can't come into town tonight and get a shoot around like some teams like to do because there's a concert at PBA. It's Ghost and Volby. Before you came in, Tim and I were standing here. We get a lot of people that will walk up near our studios here on the east side of the stadium, and they'll be curious why they see lights on, or they want to take a look at the new facility going up. Well, we saw a couple of folks come up the ramp, and they were wearing like these skeleton costumes. And I'm like, Tim, what is going on? He goes, well, I bet they're in town for the concert tonight. I'm surprised Andrew's not all dolled up for this show.
I thought Andrew would have asked off tonight. Isn't it getting close to his birthday? Maybe he wanted a birthday celebration at the concert tonight.
Well, we found out last night it's a big heavy metal group tonight. So
yeah, and heavy metal and punk, and it's like a mixture, and yeah. Hey, there's a question on the chat. Will there be a video broadcast available of baseball versus Sam Houston on the 18th?
I don't know.
Do you know?
It's up to the home team, and so I don't know what Sam Houston State has. I would kind of doubt it there. I would kind of doubt they would have.
But they can listen to the radio stream.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. It's up to them. Nebraska has no influence over that, so it'll be up to the home team, and I don't know if they're equipped to do that or not. But that's 2 weeks from tonight. 1 week from today, Husker softball gets going as they'll be up in Northern Iowa playing in the Uni Dome up there with a handful of teams from the upper Midwest in games. It'll be a round-robin thing. It's not really a true tournament format because every game is set. And so by this time, next Friday night, we'll have 2 Husker softball games done.
Yeah, and if you missed the interview with Coach Ravel, she talked about this is a huge opening weekend, a big opportunity, postseason teams. They got a couple good arms. Omaha's got a really good pitcher, so some good tests for this team out of the gate. And if they can come out with some big wins, it'd be a big confidence boost moving forward. But they're going to know about where they're at right out of the gate. This is a big opportunity immediately here in the opening weekend.
Iowa State's one of the teams that they'll face. So they'll face a Big 12 squad up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, I believe is where University of Northern Iowa is. So that's next week. The softball begins a week ahead of all the college baseball seasons around the country. They get 1 week jump because their World Series in Oklahoma City is in mid-May, where the College World Series in Omaha is in mid-June when that gets going. So hard to believe the ball bat sports are here. Isn't that crazy?
I know it is, and it's just once it gets here, I feel like it is just all the time. I mean, we're talking about it all the time. There's games they play. A lot of times they play during the week, and so there's a lot of games that we're going to be able to talk about. But just the excitement with the baseball team is carried over. It seems like we're getting asked about it left and right, on our chat line, on our text line, on YouTube stream. I think everybody's really excited to see how this team comes out after winning the Big Ten. And, you said it, I think you said it on air a couple days ago, but when they honored them at the basketball game the other day, you wouldn't believe that ovation that they got. I mean, a standing ovation. It was so loud. And so that was really cool to see. So I think a lot of people just anxious to see how they're going to come out of the gate. Were you surprised at all with the team captains that got named?
I think those were the 4. In fact, we should have touched on that. Tim had it last night in the ticker. It's the 4 seniors, and those would be the guys that you would anticipate that would be in Kyle Perry, Shea Shanneman, Griffin Everett, I think Griffin, who's the catcher, I think is going to have a huge year for this team. And Cam Chick's been a big part of this program since he stepped on the campus. Those are the clear-cut leaders of that team, and they'll be a huge part of this group going forward. And both Coach Bolt and Coach Ravel have a press conference midweek next week with some player availability. We'll ramp up our coverage once we get those coaches going with regular press conferences.
And Coach Bolt said so much last year about those senior guys that left, how important they were, and kind of setting the tone and the culture. So you feel like these 4 guys are going to be able to step right into that? I do.
I think all 4 of those guys in different ways. Perry is kind of the class clown. He's the guy that keeps it loose, and you need that. You need a spirit on the
Whitney Brown.
A little bit like that. Yeah, and since he'll be a starting pitcher, he'll only really have to focus one day of the weekend. The rest of the time, he can kind of be himself, and which is kind of in fact.
Is he the Friday night guy?
I think he will probably start game 2. Now, we'll find out for sure next week, but I think Shea probably starts Friday. Kyle will be the Saturday guy. In fact, Kyle was coming off of this is a good story. Kyle was coming off of Tommy John. So last year, early in the season, he wasn't ready to pitch, but they took him on all the trips. And you can only take so many. I think for non-conference, it's 30 you can take on the road. Then it's 27 for the conference. But because last year, we didn't play any non-conference. Big Ten played all conference games because of COVID. And so they utilized one of their 27 spots all season long for Kyle Perry.
Wow.
And Will said, I need his energy and his zaniness in the dugout. I need that in there to loosen everybody up. I go, well, I know I can't pitch him. He finally started pitching later in the year, but he goes, he's too important to not have with us.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a great story.
So Kyle then pitched really well when he got his opportunity late in the season, made a great start against Arkansas in the region, and so he'll be a big part of it. But we'll start ramping up our baseball coverage starting next week.
I think they had their big photo shoot and intro video shoot, or they're setting up for it.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, I saw the
tomorrow.
setup for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Nick Burkhardt, who does a great job running the corn crib for Husker Athletics, said he's excited for this shoot that they're going to put out. I saw a pizza commercial today with Shanneman and Griffin Everett for Valentino's.
Wow.
Pretty cool. A little TV spot that those guys are in. So, yeah, you have to go dig that out. They posted that earlier today. All right, coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the road race that Husker football has been involved with for 10 years. It's going to be in July, but they've added a little wrinkle to it to maybe get more people to enter. They've had great entries and had a lot of people that have come and either done the fun run or the 5K. I will do neither. That's not my thing. I don't run. I don't want to do that. Maybe Andrew. No, never mind. So we'll hear from Phil Darius and Ryan Schomer here in just a few minutes. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Back with a little football chatter coming up next.
Wherever your path leads, the Mazda CX-30 is made to help you follow it. With an invigorating design and elegant cabin, the Mazda CX-30 will give you a drive worth experiencing. Powered by a turbocharged engine, the dynamic performance and premium stitching makes every moment worth savoring. Shop our Mazda CX-30 lineup at one of our 2 convenient locations at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place, just off 144th and Giles Road. Online at woodhousemazda.com.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Nebraska men's hoops is back at the PBA Hardwood tomorrow, tipping off against Northwestern at noon. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. Central. Check your local affiliates or listen along at Huskers.com or with the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal by Webster.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it. The confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
This isn't the start. Before I got here, I started training. And before that, I did something to my back. But my first move was Athletico Physical Therapy. That's where I'd eventually end up, so why not start there? I mean, my therapist immediately found the source of my pain. These are the same physical therapists who work with elite marathon runners. So soon, I was back to running, but without pain. You got this.
It all starts at Athletico. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com. Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval. Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe back with you here on a Friday night Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. And it's become a tradition during the summer for the Husker football team to hold a road race to raise not only awareness but some funds for pediatric brain cancer. And got a couple of Huskers to join us tonight to talk about this as they're about to have their 10th year of this. It'll be July 17th right outside of Memorial Stadium. And glad to have Ryan Schomer and Phildarius Payne both here with us tonight. First of all, how are you guys surviving Camp Duval? How's that been for the last couple weeks? Pretty tough?
Yeah, it's been nice, but it also has been hard. But you have to get through it. You have to do it.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Do you dread the winter conditioning part of it?
I wouldn't say dread. We spend a lot of time together as a team, bonding, doing conditioning drills. It's what we need to get that unity back.
All right, now I've walked by that weight room a few times while you guys are in there. There's a little hooting and hollering going on there. Is there a lot of spirit in those workouts?
I would believe so. You can see the bonds getting closer and closer as the day go by.
How competitive is it with you guys? I'm sure you guys probably get pretty competitive doing that stuff.
Yeah, extremely competitive. We like putting little things on the line if we got on the side, or just pride, really.
Well, I know this is a big time of building your bodies and getting the team bonding, as you both mentioned. Ryan, I want to start with you on this race because I know since you grew up in Nebraska, you're probably aware of Team Jack and the foundation, and maybe you even remember the touchdown run by Jack that's over a decade ago. What does this all mean now to you to be kind of a part of this whole thing?
Oh, it's a tremendous honor, just being able to lead this promotional crew to get the road race, funds coming in for really just a really good cause. Pediatric brain cancer research is an important thing. There's hundreds and families that are affected by it. 4,600 children are diagnosed with brain cancer every year, which totals more than 12 kids every single day. So football can be a part of a movement that is working together as one team to make a difference for families everywhere.
Now, Phildarius, you're not from Nebraska, so you maybe didn't know some of the background of this, but you've been to a couple of the races. What's it been like for you to be at those races?
Being from Virginia, you don't see stuff like this and how the community, they get together over something like this. And this is a great cause. And just seeing everyone go out there, run, and seeing the player bonds like JoJo Doman from last year. I think he had someone that he was with for 4 years, and it was just like someone that he was with every time he was there. And it was good to see that, how they all noticed each other from you do this yearly, and I believe they do keep in touch.
Guys, does it put it in perspective a little bit for you when you see a young kid, boy or girl, who's struggling with cancer? Does it kind of put your life in perspective a little bit about, wow, there's bigger things than just football?
Yeah, we be grinding during the winter conditioning and thinking we got some hard days, but it doesn't even compare to what those kids go through. So seeing all the support that comes for them is really huge.
Yeah. All right, the race July 17th, and the home agency, and I've known Jim and Sherry Baldonado for years. They are a title sponsor for this event. They have been incredible supporters of the Team Jack Foundation. There are 2 races. There's a 1-mile fun run that starts at 8. Then there's a 5K for the more serious runners out there that starts and will finish out on West Stadium. It'll loop its way through the campus back around the Devaney Center. But there's a cool thing that you guys are going to do, and that's if people can get registered by April the 1st, you're going to get a code to come see you guys play, get a ticket for the spring game. That's kind of cool, right, Phil Darius? Come out and watch you guys play.
Yeah, I think that's a great experience, just seeing the families and, like I said, the bonds that we build year in and year out with the families. I think it will be good for them to come out to the spring game.
It's $25 for if you want to get registered, folks, for the 1-mile run, $30 for the 5K, and you can register at huskers.com/road race. Either one of you a runner growing up? Did either one of you run distances, or is that not something you like? I didn't like to do that at all. No?
No, I threw.
I used to, well, for our basketball team, we had to run like a mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. I never finished the 5 or the 4, but I got to the 3. And times wasn't the best, but hey.
I mean, I admire people that can run distances. I can't do that at all. So this is, again, that's why they have the 1-mile fun run for people that aren't real serious about this whole thing and just want to be out and be a part of that whole thing. They're going to have some Husker prizes. There's going to be a DJ set up for this thing. July 17th, again, is the date of this event moving forward. And, again, the Hoffman family usually is there, and that's pretty cool. And we all dearly miss Jack and Jack is there, but Andy passed away tragically a year ago, the father, and that was so sad to have. And again, it was a cancer thing as well. All right, guys, a couple weeks away from spring ball. Are we ready? We're ready for a little spring practice?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're ready to get after it. It's about time.
Phil Darius, I got to talk to you because you put your name in the portal a while back. Yes, you're back. We're glad you're back.
Yes,
is everything good?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Everything is set.
I tell you what, your family is great to follow on social media. They're all in. They're wearing their red. They're showing their flights coming in there. They love Husker football, don't they?
Yes, yeah. They even talking about Ireland already.
How much is Ireland being talked about, Ryan, and the weight at workouts and the conditioning going on?
We're just focused on today, honestly, just getting grinding, being stronger, faster than before.
Some new faces, and that happens every year in January. Some new faces coming in. Those guys picking up what the work ethic they got to do.
Yes, sir. I think if not most, all of them, they came ready to work out, practice. You can see it through the mat drills and the lifts.
Yeah, and the guys coming in with little injuries, I see them in the training room, working with the trainers, getting themselves back so that they can go 100 to go by spring.
Be good. Again, the spring game, April the 9th. And, folks, if you get registered for this race by the 1st, while supplies last, I do need to throw that in there. You're going to get a code. We'll get you a free ticket to the Husker spring football game. So a little added incentive to get signed up to make this the biggest road race that Nebraska football has put on in their 10th year of this whole thing. Guys, great to see you. Glad you're surviving Camp Duval. I know those can be painful sometimes. I know they have trash buckets in there for certain reasons for you guys, but I also know that it's a sense of pride to get bigger and stronger and faster all this during the offseason. Do you feel like a buzz, Ryan? Is there kind of a buzz around the team right now?
Yeah, it's exciting seeing the new coaches and the new players. That just adds excitement. But on top of that, you got old faces that are just looking bigger and stronger already.
Phil Darius, it was like a play or two. Made so many – all those games last year were so close. We're so close, aren't we?
Yeah, we're so close. I think we're going to be there this year.
Good. And how about this stuff going up behind us? You guys may both be gone by the time this thing opens. It's going to be pretty special, isn't it, when that thing gets done back there?
Yeah, they're spending a lot of good time on that.
Yeah, good stuff. Ryan Schomer, Phil Darius Payne. Good to see both of you. Let's hope a lot of people get signed up for this. Again, Huskers.com/road race is the website to go get registered. Let's have a huge crowd there in July. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have both these guys in here with us tonight. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Jessica will rejoin me next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeTow Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeTowSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Nebraska men's hoops is back at the PBA Hardwood tomorrow, tipping off against Northwestern at noon. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. Central. Check your local affiliates or listen along at Huskers.com or with the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal by Webster.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
Start your car buying journey today at Woodhouse Ford and experience the difference. Our team is ready to help you get the job done with our full lineup of all new 2022 trucks. The 2022 F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Shop online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com or visit us in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth. Woodhouse Ford has something for everyone.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, even longer term than your first ride on the Gravitron at the county fair. And even longer term than the line to buy the corn dog you definitely shouldn't have eaten before you got on the Gravitron. Oof, so long-term.
It's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Time to see what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. You got Husker Wrestling 8 o'clock tonight at the Devaney Center against Michigan. Tomorrow, the Husker men's basketball team at noon against Northwestern. Pregame coverage here on HRN begins at 11. Husker women will play at noon on Sunday at Maryland, 11:45 for pregame coverage. And also Saturday night at the Devaney Center, Chuck Schmelke's men's gymnastics team will take on Penn State at the Devaney Center. And folks in here you may be driving to the Ghost Full Beat concert. They're in action tonight, along with Twin Temple. Is the other act.
I did a little headbanging in the break. Is my hair a little wild now?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
That's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. We were talking about Husker women's basketball in the first segment. Art in Los Angeles said, "Mark my words, that women's team's going to be in the Final Four." Art, I love your optimism. That'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it would be. I just think this team getting to the tournament and getting that experience will be really, really big. Jazz Shelley has been a part of a team that has went to the tournament and has made a deep run, but there's a lot of players on this team that haven't, and just getting there and experiencing it is so huge. So I absolutely think they can get there. I think they're done almost enough. Now they can't just completely fall off. They've got to take care of the teams and the games that they're supposed to, but I do think that have done enough now if they just continue to take care of business they're in, and I think they do have a chance to win a couple if they play how they played against Michigan. There's not a lot of teams that are going to beat them if they play like that.
Hitting everything that night. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dial us up with a comment or question, or fire off a text. That text line always available for you as well. Samori Toure, Tim had this in the ticker. What a game last night. And I did what I told you last night. I was listening to Coatney and Greash, and I had the NFL Network on and watched some of that Shrine Bowl, and he had 2 touchdown catches. It was awesome.
Yeah, I put him in the spin cycle, right?
He did.
That's
nice
what I saw
move.
the tweet when they posted his video or his touchdown that Samori Toure put him in the spin cycle. But yeah, I think he's going to, if he doesn't end up getting drafted, he's going to absolutely get a shot as an undrafted free agent, and then he is going to surprise a team when he gets to training camp and going through all those mini camps, because he's a guy that's going to take care of his business. He's really, really good and just kind of maybe flew under the radar a little bit. But yeah, he's going to be a get for some team. Ben
Stilley did a nice job. He got double teamed a lot in last night playing the defensive front for that game. You still have the other game, the Senior Bowl still to come. That's next week. That's got Cam Tater-Britt. JoJo Doman is at that one, so a couple more Huskers to play in some of those games. And then the Combine's coming up in a few weeks in Indianapolis, and with Huskers will have 4 players there.
Is JoJo going through practices yet? Or?
I think so.
Yeah. So he's completely released.
They were showing some video of him in a coverage thing where he batted the ball away from a receiver downfield. So, yeah, he's out there doing.
When we had him on, I don't know if he was completely released yet because of his surgery. So it's good that he's going to get to be a full go, because as we've seen, that's what everyone was talking about Samori, is that yes, he scored 2 touchdowns, but all throughout the week during those practices, Samori's been impressive and been getting a lot of attention. And those practices are really big. That's when all the scouts kind of go. You get a lot of reps and multiple times to kind of go out there and show what you can do. And so the fact that JoJo's going to be able to do all the practices, I think is really big for him.
If you do something well in those practices, those scouts will put your name down, and then they're going to go back and go through your highlights again. They're going through your reel.
Yeah.
That's a guy's worth a second look. I need to go look more at him.
And then they call him up and meet with them and kind of see what they're all about, and maybe, just a informal interview, just conversation with them. And if you kind of catch their attention, then you are kind of just opening that door for those conversations to be had. And not even just the draft process, but the undrafted free agent. That's big for those guys too. Is just to make sure that you are in people's minds, that if you do go undrafted, that you are immediately someone that these teams want to call to say, hey, we want to get this guy in and sign a practice or sign a undrafted free agent deal and get them in to go through workouts, mini camps, all of those kinds of things.
Want to thank Phil Darius and Ryan for coming in and talking about the road race. Again, it's not till July 17th, but if you've done it in the past and you're going to do it again, or if you're thinking about doing it, that incentive of going ahead and getting yourself registered by April 1st, you get a free spring game ticket, so you can come see the Huskers play on April the 9th. I kidded Phil Darius about, we got to talk, Phil Darius. You put your name in the portal, now you're back. Your family obviously loves the Huskers. They're all over social media, and he just grinned through the whole thing. Just had a big smile.
Oh, I love his personality. He's got a great personality, and so I'm glad that he decided to come back. And man, the road race is such a huge. It means so much to this program, And all of these players buy in. I mean, I've only been here a year, but I've been a part of multiple things now that have involved the road race in some way, shape, or form. And you can just tell how much it means to not just a few guys, but the entire team. And they all go and they all participate. And it's just such a good reminder and a perspective. You see a lot of these kids that are battling things that are way bigger than anything you're going to battle on a football field. And so it's very near and dear to the hearts of these players and this program. And so if you support this program, I think they'd really greatly appreciate you supporting the road race as well.
No doubt. And even Phil Darius made the comment that JoJo had gotten to kind of know one young guy, and all 4 years that young fellow was back for the race, and he got a chance to see him and high-five him and give him some encouragement. So I know it means an awful lot to the players, and so if you're a runner, like to do that sort of thing, get yourself registered. It's pretty reasonable registration fee, and it's a great time. And
I'm
they do it early
not a runner,
in the day.
but I might look into speed walking.
The 1 mile fun run, you can walk,
Yeah.
kind of jog a little bit.
We should have someone sign up and wear our bibs. I'm going to recruit someone. That happened last year, I think, but recruit someone that can really run and just put my name on it. And so then when they...
there goes Coody, right down there, way ahead of the pack again.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
that when they call the name and the time at the end of it, that I'm the winner. But I definitely wouldn't be. These poor knees can't handle a run like that. But
Yeah.
I can definitely walk. I could speed walk. Your favorite
I do
sport
not
in the
like,
Olympics.
No, now you just...
Come on.
I hate that sport. My gosh.
Curling and speed walking are your two favorite sports of all time.
No, not speed. No. Is it race walking, speed walking? What do they call
race
it?
walking.
Race walking.
Race walking.
Yeah. Tim also had this in the ticker, and I found some of this humorous today about Jim Harbaugh, who I think really felt like he was going to get the Vikings job. There were reports that he was telling people Michigan goodbye last week before he went and did the interview. Then he doesn't get the job, so now he's back. He tells his AD, Ward Manuel, that this is not going to be a reoccurring issue and that he will be staying at Michigan as long as the school wants him. He said, quote, I called Ward and asked him if he wanted me to be the head coach. He said, yes, 100%. I said, okay, then that's what I want to do. And I told him, Ward, will not be a reoccurring theme every year. This was a one-time thing. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. I don't. I think, as we said before, when the rumors first started circulating, I think he probably wants to get back to the NFL. I think there's a lot of these guys that have been around and done it for a long time. Maybe they don't like the recruiting race of it on the college football front. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think he does.
I don't necessarily think he's one of those guys. And all the NIL stuff, maybe he doesn't want to keep up with the arms race of that. And so I think he's definitely a guy that if the opportunity presents itself, he would definitely go to the NFL.
Well, he even tells the Detroit Free Press, and this might have been our good friend Angelique Shengalis, who he did the story with. I didn't look it up, but he said, quote, there was a tugging at me that I was once that close to winning a Super Bowl, and I didn't get it. So I think that's not going to go away. That memory of losing that tight game to his brother, no less, is going to gnaw at him. But will he get another shot? I'd say yes, and I say he probably goes the next time he gets a shot to do that. We have not talked about this. This broke a couple of days ago. The Washington football team is no more. They are the Commanders. What do we think? We like it?
I don't know. I don't think I like it. I don't know. I guess it's okay. I think it's all right. Maybe the audience has a different take on that. I don't know.
Maybe the chat room can sound off some quick reaction to us, whether they like the Washington Commanders. I did see somebody say, just leave it the Washington football team.
I know. I actually have had a couple people say that to me, too. This is the Washington football team. Has a nice ring to it. So after you got used to it, because then everybody thought it was funny, and then it's like the Washington football team. I kind of like it.
So the Commanders, it is the new nickname for the Washington football team of the National Football League. So if you have some thoughts about that, if you have some thoughts about any of our topics of the day, phone lines, text lines are open for you. 402-413-2400. Time to tell you to buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with more of the show coming up.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Friday night, Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network, 402-413-2400. What do the folks in the chat room think about the Commanders? They good with that? No? What's the verdict?
Crypto wanted the Washington Monuments.
Okay.
And then who else? Children of the Corn said he wanted the Sentinels, which is the replacements, and said go Falco. I actually just watched that movie for the first time the other day.
Gene Hackman, the coach in that movie?
Yeah. Why is he always cast as a coach? He's a coach on my favorite team of all time.
He's still alive.
I think so, yeah.
I think he is.
But I had never seen the replacement. So luckily I got that reference. I knew that Falco's the quarterback for the Sentinels.
The boys in the back want Red Hogs. They wanted Red Hogs.
It sounds too much like a hockey team to me. I mean, I know it is, but I didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really do much for me. That's not my football team anyway, but the Commanders, it is, moving forward for the Washington NFL football
Should have been the Presidents.
Yeah. You could have so many ties with that being the nation's capital, and Commanders kind of, because it's military commander. But
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of a tie like that.
I don't know. I don't love it.
Yeah.
But that's not my team either, so it's not like I really care.
Kathy said, hey, by the way, the Senior Bowl is tomorrow. So she's right, 1:30 Central Time on NFL Network. The one last night was just odd. Thursday night, having a college all-star game, that was just an odd placement of that deal going on there. Olympics are underway. I don't know if there's any medals that have been handed out yet. They're replaying on USA Network right now some of the figure skating that was late last night. We're 14 hours behind Beijing time, so it's coming up on 9 a.m. over there, so probably some of the day competitions just getting going. If you flip on NBC, which is the main channel for Olympic coverage, you're going to see the opening ceremonies tonight, which were this morning. They had it on during the Today Show.
I'm not a big I got to watch the opening ceremonies on any of them.
I love to see how they the theatrics of it and how they produce it. It's kind of cool.
I mean, it just takes so long to light the torch.
It does.
It's like 4 hours of trying to get this torch lit. So I'd rather just watch the competitions, to be honest. The mogul skiing, I forgot how much I liked that. That was on last night with the women and how you go fast.
Imagine that on your knees.
Yeah, no, that would not hold
mackerel. Up. And hips.
Do you know I've never been skiing?
Really?
I've never been skiing. So when I was playing basketball, my dad told me you're not gonna go skiing until you're done playing sports. Well, I ended up tearing my ACL because he was afraid I was going to tear my ACL.
Yep.
I ended up tearing my ACL playing sports. And then you're supposed to wait a year because it is, or over a year. You have to wait longer to go skiing because it is so hard on your knees. So then I was maybe going to go, and then I ended up tearing the other one, and so never have gone. So never been.
It's I hurt in places I didn't know existed. It wears you out. I mean, you use muscles there that you don't with anything else. So it's probably really good for you.
Yeah.
You get yourself in shape for that, but it's hard on ankles, knees, that type of thing.
I mean, I wouldn't know. And plus, I'm not really a huge cold fan either, so probably wouldn't love it.
Oh, if you get bundled up, it's beautiful up on top of a mountain looking out over that. It's just gorgeous. I'm anxious to see what the TV numbers are going to be for these Olympics. I don't know what the appetite is for the American public right now to watch these games, and the time difference hurts, right? I mean, 14 hours hurts.
Because it was down in the Summer Olympics.
It was down.
And the Summer Olympics are more popular than the Winter Olympics. Right. They normally get better ratings, and the ratings for the Summer Olympics were not good.
So this is the back-to-back winter games that have been in kind of that Far East time zones. Wasn't the other one Pyeongchang? Wasn't that the last one?
Yeah.
And that's over there. So you've had back-to-back winter games that are just way off the clock from American time zones. And I know the world doesn't necessarily revolve around us, but it helps if you feel like you're watching live events. We've got it on in here, and you were like, is that live? I go, no, that was like 10, 12 hours ago.
Which that was one of the things that they did during the summers, that they moved, even though it's like you would normally have prime time, like you'd normally swim at night, they moved the medal rounds to the morning, which would be prime time here, so that we could actually watch live in prime time some of those swimming events. But yeah, there were some things that were not live that we were watching. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like it's as popular, but I think the figure skating will be big, you know, because it always is.
And we should be good, right?
Yeah,
USA?
And, with Nathan Chen, and he was very impressive last night. And so,
in fact, there's their figure skating announcers.
Yeah,
Johnny Weir's, he's a character.
Yes, he is. He is definitely a character. That trio, though, they do a good job of broadcasting.
Tara Lipinski, Johnny Weir, and then Terry Gannon. And I love Terry. Terry does a lot of golf on the Golf Channel, but Andrew's kind of our Johnny Weir. I mean, that's just, that kind of zaniness out there stuff.
They don't know who it is. They're over there. They don't know who it is.
They can Google it and go find that right now. Yeah, I'm looking at the medal count on ESPN.com. There's not been one medal handed out yet. And that's a little odd. You would think there's starting to be some of those things to start.
I do think, because I did see on TikTok, Greg, that there is a snowboarder that said that their competitions, I think, start tomorrow, and there's some of them have their preliminaries and their medal rounds on the same day. So I think it's probably starting tomorrow. We'll start seeing medals.
All right. So coverage is beginning. USA Network, if you're looking for some times that NBC's not on with it, USA Network, which is the old NBC Sports Channel. The NBC, they pulled the plug on that. The NBC Sports Channel is gone.
The year of an Olympics.
Right.
I mean, we just watched it. I watched a lot of the Olympics in the summer on that channel. And then you knew that you were going to turn right around and have a Winter Olympics, and they pulled the plug. That's crazy.
Shifted it all to USA Network, so that's where you can find a lot of Olympic coverage that is going on. Our Sports Signing Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. 1 hour in the books. Coming up next hour, we'll hear from Fred Hoiberg. He had a presser today. Huskers set to play Northwestern tomorrow at PBA. And the latest episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks is about ready to hit where you find your podcast. We're going to give you a sneak peek of that coming up in hour number 2. Come on back, have some fun with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way.
From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com, one of our 19 dealerships, or a combination of both, it's that easy. Plus, offering the most wanted new makes and leading pre-owned models, your next vehicle is on the lot or on its way. Shop confidently with the Woodhouse team today. Serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Flu season is here, and you can get your flu shot now at your Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and you can schedule your appointment online. Just go to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. This year, it's more important than ever to stay healthy. So go online to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy today to schedule your flu shot and get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions may apply.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Happy Friday, Huskers fans. We're getting you ready for a weekend full of Huskers athletics. As a reminder, the Huskers Radio Network will be bringing you coverage of men's basketball as they take on Northwestern tomorrow. Pre-game coverage in that one starts at 11 a.m. with the tip-off at noon. Then on Sunday, the Huskers women's basketball team is out east to take on 17th-ranked Maryland in Annapolis. Matt Coatney and Jeff Griesch will have pregame coverage at 11:45 a.m. Central Time, followed by tip-off at noon. From current Huskers to one striving for the pros, Samori Toure turned some NFL heads last night as he was a standout in the East-West Shrine game. Toure had 5 catches, including 2 for touchdowns in the contest, and he's among several Huskers hoping to hear their names called in April's NFL draft. In other Big Ten college football news, Jim Harbaugh is staying at Michigan after interviewing for both the Las Vegas Raiders and Minnesota Vikings vacancies at head coach. He told the Detroit Free Press late last night that he reassured Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel that from here on out, I'm working at the pleasure of the University of Michigan because that's in my heart where I want to be. We'll check back on that one next year. After Sports Nightly tonight, you can catch Huskers wrestling as they take on third-ranked Michigan. That duel gets underway at 8 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. And over to college basketball, where tonight there are no Big Ten men's games or top 25 games in action. But the women's side had one final earlier today, and it was not too many minutes ago that Northwestern took down Purdue by a score of 80-67. And in the top 25, just getting underway, number 13 Texas is set for a cross-state battle against number 9 Baylor. That one's just started. And number 19 Oregon will square off against number 8 Arizona at 9 p.m. Lastly, you heard Greg mention it in hour 1. The Winter Olympics are officially underway. Right now it's about 14 hours ahead of us in Beijing. So they're in early morning, and the opening ceremony, some of the preliminary competitions have started, but we're starting to get into the meat of it now, and you'll start seeing results filter in online. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Rebound, Widener. Huskers, 5-point lead in the ball. Widener right down the middle of the lane, running one hand. Baker's good. Allison Widener, stand up, Free Nebraska. He's got 7.
Tries to jam it. Shot is blocked by Trey McGowan's. Run down by Webster. What a defensive play. Here comes Trey. Webster, Trey McGowan's to Bryce McGowan's. The drive. Punch it up and in. Holy cow. The offensive play of the year for Nebraska.
Trapped in the deep right corner. Bounces
Great
back
pass.
up. Moriarty scores off the assist from Monica Stewart, and another timeout by Wisconsin.
Great activity by Kendall Moriarty. And the return pass on the give and go. The skip pass, deep right corner, 3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Markowski for 3, and Alexis Freakowski. Another Freakowski for Alexis.
That, she hardly looked.
Holy cow.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome back. Our final hour of the night, final hour of the week of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. Good to have you with us here on a Friday night. Going to be a beautiful weekend. We'll be back in the 50s tomorrow. How about that?
Yes,
Take
my
your
dog's
dog
going to be
walk.
happy. I can actually go outside with him.
Yeah. There's a chance that the bitter colds are done.
Oh,
we may
I
be
hope
done with
so.
that.
I hope so.
Chance of that. Big hour coming up here. Fred Hoiberg met with the media today. Huskers back home for the next 2. Northwestern tomorrow at noon. I love it. College basketball on a Saturday afternoon. I love it. We don't get nearly enough of that. We're going to hear from him. The latest edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks podcast. I think it's been 2 months since they've done one. It's about ready to drop. We've got a snippet for you. Some good stuff to hear from John Cook. We'll have that for you later on in the hour.
Breaking news, Creighton got to 17 points.
They had 16.5, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. They're getting and that's so weird. They beat a ranked UConn team on the road a couple nights ago, and now they're just getting waxed by Seton Hall, who's pretty good as well. That's a good league. That Big East is a good league. If you want to be a part of this one, anytime, 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. So the head coach met with the media, and as we know, we've seen the late game struggles. The Huskers have had a chance to win a handful of these games here in recent weeks, but can't close the deal. Here's the coach talking about what they need to get done.
Yeah, I mean, we're running a lot of the actions that are giving us success, and that's what we talk to our guys about all the time, is continuing to run the actions, especially early. You look at our starts, we've been phenomenal early in games on the offensive end, and we've got movement, over the course of the game. You look for things to get you going, and, we felt we had that with the ball in Bryce's hands. He did a great job making a couple pocket passes to Derek against Michigan's ice defense, and we hit a couple threes off that. Derek got to the rim on that, so we kept running those actions. And, unfortunately, we couldn't get it in the hoop. The last couple minutes, defensively, Hunter Dickinson, we were going to play him one-on-one. We took the three-pointer out of the game for Michigan, and they hit 15 of those the first time around. It's just one of those things. You got to find a way to get a win. I've talked about this, pretty much every time I've sat in this room, of getting confidence by getting over the hump and finding a way to win. And we played well enough, this last stretch. We just got to find a way to get one and know we can do it.
What do you make of the late game stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough because they have the last few games have just gone in lulls, like of droughts of scoring when they've been doing everything right, and then they just can't, again, get over that hump. But I did like the aggressiveness I saw out of Bryce McGowan's against Michigan, because I thought he needed to be more aggressive and more assertive against Rutgers. I wanted to see more of that, and so I think he did kind of, at least try to make some stuff happen down the stretch against Michigan. But yeah, they've got to figure out a way to get that big bucket down the stretch. That I think that's been, the key. And maybe it's because they haven't done it yet, so they don't have that confidence. Maybe they don't have someone that feels like, hey, give me the ball, I'm going to go get it done. But that's where you look to Bryce McGowan's and the way he's been playing and the way that teams have not been able to stop him. You want him to, I want him to go do that, and so I think we saw him try to do that a little bit. So if, they could just get to that over the hump and figure out, hey, look, we can do this, I think would be huge for this team.
The technical foul the other night on K-State was a huge call. Huskers were up 7. He looked like he did. He got a clean block on Dickinson. They call the foul. He reacts, gets a technical. Michigan makes all 4 free throws. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game, and Michigan went on a run to end the game and win it. Here's the coach talking about that technical foul.
Well, listen, Casey is one of the most passionate guys I've been around. And, he went in there and made a great play, swarming the ball. Unfortunately, it happens, especially on the road. You're going to have some of those calls, and you just got to stay poised through that. I thought there was a similar situation in the first half where they had a player that did almost the exact same thing, and it wasn't called. But, that's neither here nor there. So, just, again, got to keep your poise in that situation. They make their 2, and instead of being a 5-point game, they cut it all the way down to 3. They make it a 1-possession game on that stretch. But as far as Casey's passion, I'm never going to take that away from him. It's what makes him who he is as an undersized, guard, because of the way he approaches everything. And, I love the kid, and, again, we'll never take his passion away.
I think that he'll learn. I think Casey will learn how to better handle that situation. But that's why people love to watch him play, because he plays so hard and it means so much to him. There's no denying how much playing basketball and winning and doing everything he can to help his team win means to Casey. So I'm with Coach. You don't want to take that away from him. It's what makes him who he is. But he will learn. He's such a smart basketball player. He will learn not to react like that. And I don't think necessarily it's probably a call that is made in a moment in the first half. I don't know. I mean, I would love to, pick a referee's brain about that, but you can't react that way. But especially in a big time moment like that, it just it heightened the moment a little bit. The timing of when he reacted that way.
I think at that point of the game, if any player acts that way, they're probably going to get teed up.
But I think if it's a different time of the game when it's not such a big moment, I don't think it gets called all the time like it was.
You mentioned Bryce earlier. He's really on a roll. Has been named a couple times here in the last month as the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. The coach was asked about what he sees and why the success is happening now for Bryce.
Yeah, he's really figuring out the physicality aspect in this league. And I think it was a little bit of a shock to him, which it is for every freshman that comes into this league. But, what he's doing right now, the streak that he's on, I think 4 consecutive 20-point games, 18 free throw attempts against a very good Rutgers team. excuse me, obviously put the ball in his hands a lot because we trust him in that situation against Michigan. He's just continuing to go out there every game and get better and better. We're posting him up a little bit now, giving him that mid-post area where either we'll give him an ISO or go set a little logo pick-and-roll ball screen, and he's just making great decisions out of it. So he's guarding better. I think a big thing, and you can talk to Bryce, he'll be the first one I think to tell you, he's really bought into not just the minimum amount of lifts, but he's lifting on game days now. And he understands how important that is to be able to play through contact, which they bodied him up early and I think took him out. I think it was a surprise to his to his system. So he's just really bought into everything that it takes to be able to play through the physicality in this league, and he's just obviously been phenomenal.
It's been fun to watch, and Husker fans, you better soak it up because I don't know that he's back next year. I think he's probably trending toward the NBA.
I think what he's done, here in these last 5-6 games and how much he's gotten stronger and showed, because that was my question at the beginning of the year. The raw talent was there, but was he going to be strong enough? I think we're seeing now that he absolutely is strong enough and can do all the different things that it takes. If your shot's not falling, getting to the free throw line, which he's been phenomenal at. I was looking up, he's leading the Big Ten in free throw makes and I think free throw attempts. And he's right there in the top 5 in the NCAA of getting to the free throw line. And that is so important because, you can't just get to the line because the Big Ten, they've got so many good and strong players that, you've got to draw that contact and you've got to be good at that. And so the way he's doing that, there's all the different things that he's been able to do, I think absolutely. We actually had a question from Crypto about is he going to be the Big Ten Freshman of the Year? I think there's no doubt about it at this point. And which to me, probably Nebraska's going to have the Big Ten Freshman of the Year in both men's and women's basketball.
Yep, I definitely think you're right. All right, tomorrow, here come the Cats. They did win the other night over Rutgers. A strange game. They had a huge lead, lost the lead, went to overtime, won the game in overtime. But they've only won one of their last 10 games. So what's the coach expect for tomorrow in the game against Northwestern?
Yeah, they're playing really well. Chris has got those guys. They had a 24-point second-half lead against Rutgers. Give Rutgers credit for continuing to go back, find a way to get that game into overtime, and then give Northwestern credit for keeping their poise and finding a way to get the win. But they've had a couple of great wins. At Michigan State was a huge win. Not many people go into that building and win. They had a chance to beat Michigan on the road, and really all their games. Illinois, that was a very close game. So, yeah, they're playing a lot of them, a lot of close ones. But this team has everything. They've got size. They've got skill. They shoot it really well with their guards, and they're an elite rebounding team. They're second in the Big Ten in offensive rebounds, which obviously, is an issue for us. So we just have to go out there and play really solid across the board and play consistent for 40 minutes. And if you look at, I think we played them 3 times since I've been here. We had a shot to tie it the first game. I think we went 8 for 28 the second game from the line and lost in overtime. And then last year they tipped one in at the buzzer to beat us. So, we've played close games, and both of us have been in a lot of close games this year.
I don't know how you can anticipate anything other than tomorrow is going to be close. And the last handful of home games for the Huskers have all been close. They just haven't been able to get. So I think that's what we see tomorrow.
And I've said it all week, and this is a team that's getting more and more confident. They're not getting...
Weirdly, they are. You're right.
They're not losing confidence after the losses, even though a lot of times that's what you see out of teams. They kind of start giving up and, all right, the season's over. But this team is, I feel like, playing better and getting more and more confident. And I think that's all because of Bryce McGowan's and how much more confident he's playing. And so, I think this is a team that's on the verge of getting a win, and they're not quitting anytime soon, obviously. I think we've seen that the last few games, that they keep coming out and keep fighting, and they seem to be playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Huskers are favored for tomorrow's game. So there you go. Noon tip for that one. All right, we're all frustrated. I know the fans are frustrated. The coach, the players are frustrated. So Fred Hoiberg was asked today, what message do you have right now for the fans?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. There's not one person in this program that doesn't have frustration with not being able to get over the hump and get some wins. One thing I'll tell you is these guys are continuing to go out there and battle. They're practicing hard, which I know doesn't mean anything, but they're not laying down. They're continuing to go out there and, give us a chance. We just got to find a way to get confidence to know that we can win these games. And it's the single most important thing is winning close ones. And, I've talked about it in the past. When you have those teams that have the confidence to know you can win, it's a beautiful thing. And right now we just have to find a way to get over the hump. Believe me, I know this business. I know what it's all about. You have to win at the end of the day. That's the only thing that's important. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep going out and practicing and preparing, and hopefully give ourselves a chance to win. Our schedule, we have not played a team in league yet with a sub 500 record, and we knew January was going to be a grind. So again, we've had plenty of chances. We just got to find a way to get over the hump.
I think that's important for him to kind of pound that message home, because people they're questioning, where is this thing going? And we all need wins. Fred needs wins. The program needs wins. The people that support the program and buy tickets, they need to see some wins from this group.
Yeah, and it's not like this team doesn't want to win. I mean, in this program, you just heard him say it, that it's not like there's not one person that's frustrated within the program, that they, and I think one win could do big things for. I just said they're playing confident, but I think just figuring out how to win some of these close games when they're right there in it at the end, you got to figure out a way to get over that hump, and I think that would be huge for this team.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT's Highway Safety Office. In some ways, this is it's a Nebraska group that's not loaded with experience. They've got young players. Bryce, obviously a freshman. Tomiyaga has never played E1 basketball until this year, and I saw this today.
CJ Wilcher hadn't played much before.
True. I saw this today, Jessica, and this blew me away. Tomorrow, Illinois plays Indiana, okay?
Okay.
The starting five for those games for Illinois, Frazier is 23 years old.
Wow.
Plummer is 24. Williams is 23. Coburn, the big guy, is 22. Granderson's 23. So their youngest starter is 22 years old. Youngest.
Wow.
Indiana, Johnson, 22. Stewart, 23. Kopp, 23. Thompson, 22. Jackson Davis, their real stud, is 17 days away from turning 22. And, I know this is going to come across as making excuses, but you're talking about this is an old league with old guys, and that usually wins. Experience usually wins. And I can't remember, there was a Big Ten coach, I don't know if it was Chris Holtman or somebody, maybe Brad Underwood, when he was here a few weeks ago, made the comment. He goes, it's hard to win with freshmen and sophomores in this league. And when you see that, the projected starters for Illinois, Indiana, and none of them are, there's only one of the 10 that's 21. The rest are over 21 years old.
I've heard that from coaches here that have said that it is just, even you look at the Big 10 or the Big 12, it's more of they've got a lot of young guys that are one-and-doners type of thing that go to the NBA quickly. So it's you've got a lot of young talent in other leagues, even the Big East, they're young because a lot of those guys don't stick around long. But the Big Ten is kind of a different story, where they do have a lot of programs that are known for that, for building a lot of talent that stay around, and so they become kind of older. And a lot of those teams, a lot of times that make deep runs, have experience and have been around and know what it takes to win.
All right, let's head to the phones. Pete in West Point joins us next. Good evening, Pete.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I guess I just wanted to bring up a point, get your opinion. I know the kids on the basketball team want to win, and I agree with that. We all want to win. But if you watch, we make dumb mistakes in critical times in games. And if you really want to win that bad, you correct that as a team or as an individual. And that doesn't seem to totally go away. It's gotten a little coach saying they want to win, but you have to want to win in the right time of the game too.
Yep. No, I totally agree, Pete, and appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. Yeah, absolutely. And you also, I think, need to get some rewards. You need to win one of these so that you feel like, okay, we did all that, and you're right, it did work. But they haven't had that kind of reinforcement of what they're getting taught and what they're being told works. And that's why they just have to find a way to get over the hump in one of these, and that might open the door to get 2, 3, 4 more as they come down the stretch. But that, Pete, you're absolutely right. And some of that, I think, goes back to some inexperience and the inability of these guys playing together. And that's part of Fred Hoiberg's issue, too, because this is year 3. he's not been able to keep much of a cohesive group together. He thought he had a little bit of that this year with Kobe back and Derek Walker back and Trey back, and then Trey gets hurt game 3. So one of your most experienced guys out for 2 months, and this team never got.
And Wilhelm Breitenbach out too, which I think
Another big.
Yeah, he was going to be a big piece of this team, and he's the guy that plays hard every time. And we heard so much about how he's one of those guys that understands the game, makes all the right decisions, does things the right way. It's just a smart basketball player, knows how to handle certain situations. And so I think he's another guy that you would probably maybe be looking to rely upon in some of these situations that you no longer have.
Pete, appreciate the call. Pete dialed us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. When we come back, we'll play you a snippet of the latest podcast, Kicking Back with the Cooks. That's coming up next.
Get your ice cold Bud Light seltzer here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery.
Hey, Bud Light!
I'm ready!
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Here is a before-winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple-pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, called J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
If your business communication slows down, your business slows down. Kidwell can help. Kidwell streamlines your company's communications with phone systems that work the way you work, in the office or on the road. Kidwell systems provide the unified communications features your users demand, like voicemail to email, instant messaging, and calendar integration. And Kidwell will be there providing training, service, and support to make sure you get the most out of your investment. Don't let communications problems slow down your business. Visit kidwellinc.com.
Hey Husker fans, this is Anne-Marie from the Nebraska Beef Council. Just like the Big Red wins on the court, you can win at the dinner table with great tasting beef. From steaks and roasts to ground beef and kebabs, there are countless ways to create a meal that will have your family cheering for more. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for easy beef recipes, cooking tips, and meal inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Friday night. We have been waiting, folks have been waiting for another edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks, and they've had a lot going on. They had a little NCAA tournament run. They all got COVID. We need a little downtime.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. Coach need a little break.
We had to hire coaches.
He had to hire somebody. So there's a lot to talk about, right?
Yes,
a lot for them to cover. And so their podcast is ready to be posted. But before that happens, we thought we'd play you a snippet of the latest edition of the Kicking Back with the Cooks.
Caitlin Horde.
So
huge commit.
Yeah.
So give us. We know she committed. We know she came on a visit. We know it all went really well. Is there anything more that you can tell us about that has been top secret, or maybe the public doesn't know about?
Well, the transfer portal has gone nuts. So there are so many good players, and we love our team. We're returning most of our team. And at the time, we didn't know if Nicklin and Kayla would be coming back. We still don't know if Kayla is coming back yet. So she's doing beach, so she's still in school here, starting a new master's. We just don't know if she'll be eligible in the fall. So we're waiting on that. But so we didn't know if Kayla would come back. We still don't know. Riley Gray's done with volleyball, still a student here, but doesn't want to play volleyball anymore. Callie Schwarzenbach. Yeah, she medical. Callie Schwarzenbach transferred to Long Beach. So now we're down to one freshman middle and Kaylin Meyer. So, and if Kayla can't come back, we're down to two middles, and we have Maggie Magelson, who's the dual sport volleyball, basketball, who we may try her opposite. She could, similar to what Wisconsin did with Smirk, we could do some things like that. So Smirk, okay. Smirk, yeah.
It's hard to say.
I know. Anna. So we just felt like if a middle came in the portal that could help us and be a good fit, and we were looking for a fifth year because, again, we've got a great recruiting class down the road here, and so we feel really good about our middle blocker position based on our recruits. And so a fifth year could just kind of fill that hole that was created, and again, potentially with Kayla. So Caitlin Horde came on the portal. Of course, she could have gone anywhere she wanted, and she came here and visited. She fell in love with our team. Our team fell in love with her. Her parents are awesome, and she wants to be an entrepreneur and start a business. So we took her out to East Campus, to the English School, which is an entrepreneurial school. And they convinced her she could start a business, play in the national team, play professional volleyball, and still start a business. And you know what she wants to start a business in? This is awesome.
What?
She can't find shoes because she has big feet. So she wants to start a shoe company. And I've heard this from some of our other taller women. that they can't find shoes. And even with Adidas shoes, sometimes we have to special order. It's because they just don't make them. And so she wants to start a shoe company for women that have big feet.
I love that
cool is
idea.
that? Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Well, she also has, take Open Doors, for example. Blake Lawrence, Audie Kanalik, both former football players for Nebraska who have started this multi-million-dollar business that's just taking off in Open Doors. They're right down the street from her. That's someone that she can learn from, she can talk to. I think they come and speak at the business school or entrepreneurial school, and I feel like you have a lot of great role models.
Yeah. And anyway, this school's out there is unbelievable. The first time I've been there, because normally we recruit 16-year-olds. They're not thinking of businesses they're going to start. They're just thinking like, what color's your uniforms? How cool are the lockers? Is Coach Cook going to wear Yeezys? So, so it's really cool because this is somebody who's preparing for a career after volleyball. So we're able to, our people here do a great job. I was just blown away. And that's the first time I'd been out there because we never, we don't normally do that. And, but anyway, everybody's going to love her. She's, in one day when she committed, her Instagram account more than doubled. So with followers. So she barely even does Instagram. And so we're going to help her with building her Instagram account because it's a big deal here. And so is really exciting. But
she committed to the team before she told you, correct?
She told him Saturday night. I had to go speak in Omaha at Young Farmers of America, which I thought would be kids. Young farmers are 25 to 45 years old, and they have a 3-day seminar in Omaha. And so I had committed to this a year ago in COVID, and when we planned our visit, I didn't know they rescheduled it for Saturday night. So I get this email 1 week out like, hey, you're speaking here, you need anything, whatever. And I'm like, what? So it all worked out, but they went bowling, and then she was with the team, and she told them she was going to commit, and then told me on the way to the airport the next day. But what was really cool was she was the worst bowler. So hands down. I think it took her like 6 tries, 6 frames or whatever to even get it, to even go down the middle and try to hit something. So I think she had a score of 4 by then, and then she rolled a strike. So her total score was 13 because you get 12, I think, for a strike. And apparently when that happened, the team, it was like national championship celebration on the on-campus bowling courts. So they said they were mobbing her. So anyway, that just kind of shows you, and the whole team was there. They had a blast. So bowling is a great thing to do with teams and recruits. Just everybody has fun.
They're just practicing their celebrations for the upcoming season.
That's right. And but apparently it was just like a total mob scene. So.
Did you talk to Russ at all about
No,
Caitlin?
No.
Okay.
I called Russ when he retired, and just called him, and so here's another juicy story if you want.
Yes.
You want some
please.
juicy stories?
Oh yeah.
So again, welcome to my world. So I get a text from this guy in Fremont who says he has a copy of Russ Rose's notebook that he keeps on the side. And when Russ retired, I said, I'll pay the first $500 to get a look at his notebook. So and I did it for a press release for Penn State. They asked several coaches to make comments. So I said, I'll pay the first $500 for his notebook because he keeps that notebook, and everybody wants to know, what is he writing in there? So this guy in Fremont says he's got a copy of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, right, whatever. And then I said, so how'd you get it? He said when Russ retired, he wrote him a note, and he just said, hey, I love watching you, season ticket holder for years, and I would love a signed copy of a page out of your notebook. So Russ did it and sent it to him. So I said, you got to send that to me. So he sent it to me, so I have the copy of it on my desk, Russ's signature, and this notebook.
So what's in there? What's on the page?
That's top secret.
You have to tell us. You can't tell us that story and then not tell us.
So what it is I thought it was some elaborate thing. It is basically, I think it's the same way he took stats when he was an assistant coach here 40 years ago. It's basically just like something he made up with a ruler and pencil. He punts the names in and keeps track of kills, errors, blocks, aces, whatever. It's just basically he keeps stats the old-fashioned way. So now I know why he does it. He does it for stress. So if he's keeping stats, he doesn't get all worked up and everything. So it's brilliant.
That's why he always looks so calm.
That's why he's always so calm. It's brilliant. So we ought to do a sports psych study on coaching and that model of having that notebook.
I mean, what a storyteller.
Isn't that good?
So good. I can't wait for the full thing.
I think there's a lot more.
Oh,
a lot more than that.
I think it was like close to an hour. So there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of gold in that upcoming Kicking Back with the Cokes episode.
No doubt.
I believe it's gonna be dropping on Monday
Very
on the
good.
Huskers Radio Network Huskers Radio Network podcast platform. So wherever you listen, all of those places.
Very good. Those Kicking Back with the Cooks brought to you by our good friends at Woodhouse. And it's also the sponsor of our Sports Nightly Hotline. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, phone lines and text line open for you. 402-413-2400. More of the show coming up.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Nebraska men's hoops is back at the PBA Hardwood tomorrow, tipping off against Northwestern at noon. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. Central. Check your local affiliates or listen along at Huskers.com or with the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal by Webster.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so cold. The furnace is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Attention anyone standing near a mud puddle. Trucks and Bucks is back, so take cover. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch game is roaring down the road again. And this year we're giving away 8 blue 2022 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So buy a $2 Trucks and Bucks ticket today. You could win a new Ford F-150 and make a real splash in your neighborhood. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
3 on the way. Trey got it down. The Tracer with a tray.
Nebraska men's hoops is back at the PBA Hardwood tomorrow, tipping off against Northwestern at noon. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. Central. Check your local affiliates or listen along at Huskers.com or with the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal. Huge goal by Webster.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app.
Back at our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Friday night of Sports Night here on the Huskers Radio Network, 402-413-2400. Busy weekend on campus. Men's basketball tomorrow, but you have wrestling at the Devaney tonight. You have track and field going on at Devaney today and tomorrow, and then you've got men's gym tomorrow night. A lot of cool things to go see.
Lots going on. If you're looking for something to do, there's lots to be done here on campus.
And I know somebody texted us a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, when both basketball teams were on their COVID shutdown, and said, well, what else can we follow? Now those two teams are back, but there are just a lot of things happening.
Track is fun to watch in person, too, because there's a lot of things going on at a lot of different times. And obviously the men are really good right now. I mean, they're ranked still right there around the top 10.
Or 12 for the track, yeah.
So they're right there. And then men's gymnastics, also really good.
Yeah.
They were right there competing for a national title
and they
a
only
year
get
ago.
2 home duels.
So, yeah, you want to get out and see them. It's unbelievable what they can do. I mean,
the strength is
we were
incredible.
out there shooting a couple interviews with volleyball, and just the men practicing. It's mind blowing what they can do.
The rings, I don't know how they hold themselves up with the rings. It's crazy.
I can barely do a push up,
yeah.
let alone hold myself in a ring for that long.
Right? It's just it's a different. It's where I kind of the women's gym is just kind of poetry in motion to me. The way that they off the vault and the floor exercise. Not that the men aren't, but it's not. It's more brute strength, I think, with some of the elements that they do.
Well, because there's like on the balance beam and even on the floor exercise, there's dancing in between the tumbling, and with men's gym, it's basically all just tumble and jumps, and so yeah, it is. It's definitely strength, and where it's maybe a little bit more artistry involved with the women's gym.
Correct. Let's head to the phone. Stay in Lincoln. Richard, you're up next here on Sports Nightly.
Thank you. Interestingly enough, on Drive Time Lincoln on KLIN, the commander had Coach Cook, and I posed the question to him, what's the process to make a determination on the request of Kayla Caffey to have a 7th year? And Coach Cook's response to me was, I don't know, and I'm not sure anybody does know. We put the paperwork in several weeks ago, and we haven't heard back, and we don't know when we're going to hear back. So I think that it would be a good assignment for Jessica to contact NCAA and find out who passes on those requests and what the process is.
All right, Richard, yeah, we've talked about this a lot in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, they filed the paperwork. They don't know when they're getting it back. The NCAA works at their own pace. And I'm sure Jessica would be more than happy to make calls at the NCAA, but they don't return a lot of calls at the NCAA.
Yeah, I don't know. I've looked into it, and it's just a matter of, I'm sure they've got a lot of requests in right now with everything that kind of has gone on with COVID
issues. And yeah.
Because the thing about it, it threw a wrench in it because it already was a process to get your 6th year, right? If you're an athlete that played 4 years, but you had 2 injuries, because you have 1 year of a red shirt, but then you can petition to get that second. That was always the rule. But then, yeah, now with the COVID year, I'm sure there's multiple athletes. I'm sure Kayla Caffey is not the only player that has this issue where she had 2 red shirts because of an injury and then her regular redshirt year. So, it's probably a matter of just going through the paperwork. And there's a lot of things kind of going on with the NCAA anyways, with they're having meetings about restructuring and all of that. So I will look into it again and kind of see, but it's just kind of a process that takes some time, and hopefully they'll be getting back soon
And what complicates it, honestly, Richard, is that she's not only graduated, she has her master's degree. So if I'm the NCAA board, I'm kind of looking at that going, do you still really need to be in college? Because what else is left? And so at some point in time, you kind of got to move on, right? I mean, college still has a window. So I think that's going to muddy it up, to be honest with you, that she's not only graduated, but she has a master's degree.
Unless she goes and
gets a doctorate degree?
Gets a doctorate or gets another master's.
Yeah.
There's a football player at Oklahoma that had that same situation. He literally just finished his 7th year because he had 2 ACL tears, and then he had the COVID year, and he has 2 masters out of the deal. So he has his bachelor's and then 2 masters.
And the great news is Caitlin Hort, because now they have a true All-American middle that if it doesn't work with Kayla, Nebraska's going to be just fine there. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with our winners and losers for the week next.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See Agent Bud Morrell in Ogallala and get the insurance coverage you need at the right price.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and the service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Time for winners and losers for the week. What do you have?
So my guy is both the winner and the loser because it kind of depends on the Super Bowl. Jim Mattress Mac. McInvale, he is a gallery furniture owner out of Houston, bet $4.5 million on the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl, making it the largest mobile wager of all time. So he's from Texas, and it's not legal to bet on your phone through Caesars Sportsbook, so he had to drive to Louisiana to make the bets and made several $20,000 bets before reaching his final total. So the Bengals 4.5 point underdogs to the Rams. But if he were to win, if they win, then he would net more than $7.7 million thanks to his $4.5 million bet.
Just if the Bengals win, he wins.
Well, if I'm assuming, if the
Bengals
underdogs are plus 170 to win, meaning gamblers can win 170 for every $100 bet. So
wow.
Yeah. So $20,000 bets in increments before he got to $4.5 million.
Holy
but it's
moly.
the largest mobile wager of all time.
I'm pulling for him. Go.
Well, he's either going to be the winner or the loser come Super Bowl time. So he's both for me. He's my winner and my loser because depends.
Good.
How about that, though?
That's awesome. I want him to win. I want him to win. Go. All right, my winner is the Husker social media team with those wonderful videos they put out the other day of the women's basketball team that you had a huge hand in, and then the volleyball one, which has gone viral. I mean, that thing is it's like approaching 500,000 views.
Yeah, it was cool. Nick and I sat down and were kind of figuring out what do we want to do for National Girls and Women in Sports Day. And it kind of came honestly from Coach Cook and his press conference when he was talking about all the parents that bring their daughters to games and have these women's athletes as their role models. I mean, you couldn't ask for better role models for their young daughters. And so kind of we built off of that, and he came up with he knew that there were a lot of parents that I guess it was a year ago on an Instagram post said, who's your favorite Husker and why? And so we kind of came up with the ideas, and it was awesome. And just such a reminder of the little eyes that are always watching, right?
Very cool. Next time you see Coach Cook, tell him that it's a bowling lane, not a bowling court. When he was telling a story about Caitlin telling the girls while they were bowling that she was committing, we'll forgive him for that. My loser is Mac ATN, player on the UCLA men's basketball team. He's out for the year with a bad knee injury. He was on the bench last night. They played at Arizona. He was spitting at fans as he left the floor. He got arrested after the game. They didn't haul him off in handcuffs or anything, but come on, you can't do that.
What is he doing?
Spitting at fans as they exit the stadium.
Shouldn't he be wearing a mask?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they have a mask mandate in Tucson where they played. Arizona's really good. If you've not watched the Cats, they're pretty good. That's a good basketball team. I know we forget about them out on the West Coast, but they're pretty good. But Mac ATN, my loser for the week. Our Sports Audio Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. Thanks to Jessica, to Tim, and Andrew. Have fun at Ghost tonight over there at PBA. Everybody have a great weekend. We're back here on Monday.
hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
United Healthcare believes small businesses are vital to our economy and an important part of our communities. Join United Healthcare in celebrating small businesses. I'm Rob Broomfield, United Healthcare of Nebraska's CEO and a graduate of the University of Nebraska. We want to recognize your small business with the Spotlight on Small Business Sweepstakes. Winners receive radio interviews, social media recognition, and more. To enter, visit huskers.com/spotlight. United Healthcare, proud partner of Husker Sports.
Drive bold, drive GMC. You never know what lies ahead, so trust the powerful and innovative features of the 2022 GMC Canyon, or elevate your driving experience with the driver-focused technologies and handcrafted materials in the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500. Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Here is a before-winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple-pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, called J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul, not to mention their injury list.